My name is Alex, and I am a junior at Eastwood University, studying journalism. I've always been the type to dig into things, to chase the truth no matter where it leads. It's why I picked this major. Uncovering stories is in my blood. But I never thought that curiosity would pull me into something this dangerous. It all started on a cold November night. I'd been cramming at the library for a midterm, and decided to cut through the old quad on my way back to my dorm. The campus was dead quiet, just the crunch of my sneakers on the gravel breaking the silence. The old quad's this tucked-away spot behind the science building. Nobody really goes there after dark. As I turned the corner, I heard voices. Angry ones. I stopped, peeked around the building, and saw two people under a street lamp. One was Professor Smith, my investigative journalism prof, easy to spot with his beard and glasses. The other guy, I didn't recognize, some dude in dark clothes, his face hidden by a hood. They were arguing hard. I caught snippets. Expose. Shut up. You'll regret this. But it didn't make sense yet. Then, out of nowhere, the stranger swung something, maybe a pipe, and cracked Professor Smith across the head. He dropped like a stone, and the guy bolted into the shadows. I ducked back, heart slamming against my ribs. My hands were shaking as I yanked out my phone and dialed 911. "There's been an attack," I whispered to the operator. "Old quad. Professor Smith's hurt. Hurry." I hung up fast, scared the guy might still be close. I stayed hidden, waiting for sirens, when my phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. "You saw nothing. Keep it that way." My stomach dropped. How did they know I was there? I scanned the darkness, but it was just me and the wind. Next day, I couldn't focus. That text kept looping in my head. I had to know if Professor Smith was okay, so I went to the hospital. He was in a coma. Doc said it could go either way. Standing there by his bed, I felt this weird mix of guilt and anger. He'd been my favorite prof, always pushing us to chase the big stories. Now he was fighting for his life. I headed to his office after, figuring maybe I'd find something about what he'd been working on. His desk was a disaster, papers everywhere. I dug through and found a folder labeled Eastwood Corruption. Inside were notes and bank records, stuff about money being siphoned from student funds into private accounts. Serious shit. This had to be why he got attacked. I snapped pics of it all with my phone, my mind racing. As I left, another text came through. "Stop digging or you'll end up like Smith." My hands went clammy. They were watching me, but I couldn't just let it go. Professor Smith was onto something huge, and I owed it to him, and maybe to myself, to figure it out. That night I spilled everything to my roommate Jamie. We've been tight since freshman year. He's the cautious one, always talking me down from dumb ideas. I paced our tiny dorm room, laying it out. The attack, the texts, the corruption stuff. "Alex, this is nuts," he said, leaning against his desk. "You need to go to the cops." I did, kinda. Reported it anonymously, but these messages, they know it's me now. What if they come after us? He rubbed his face. "Then drop it. You're not a superhero." "I can't. This might tie back to Mark." Jamie froze. "He knows about my brother. Mark was a journalist too, vanished 2 years ago, working a story. Never found him. I've carried that guilt ever since. If this is connected, I have to know." Jamie sighed. "Fine, but I'm in. We do this smart, okay?" "Deal." We started piecing it together. The docs pointed to university bigwigs skimming cash. Thousands of bucks meant for scholarships and clubs, funneled through fake companies. Jamie's good with tech, so he traced some of the account names online. One kept popping up. Hargrove Enterprises, as in Dean Hargrove, the guy who runs the school's finances. The threats didn't stop. A couple nights later, my phone lit up with a photo. Me and Jamie crossing campus. Caption, "I see you." I showed Jamie, and he went pale. "This is too much, Alex. We're done." We're close, I said. Hargrove's the key. I can feel it. He groans but didn't argue. Jamie grumbles but sticks by me. I decided to confront Hargrove. Set up a meeting, said it was about my journalism project. His office was all polished wood and fake smiles. He leaned back in his chair. "What's on your mind, Alex?" I swallowed hard. I know about the embezzlement. I've got proof. I'm publishing it." His smile vanished. "You're out of your depth, kid. Walk away." "That a threat?" "A warning." "You don't know who you're messing with." I left, adrenaline pumping. That night, walking back to the dorm, I heard footsteps behind me. I sped up. They did too. Panic hit, and I darted into a random building, hiding in a classroom until it was quiet. My hands wouldn't stop shaking. Jamie and I knew we had to end this. We dug deeper, found a memo signed by Hargrove linking him to the fake companies. It was enough. We took it all to the cops. Every text, every photo, every scrap of evidence. They moved fast. A week later, Hargrove and a couple others got hauled off in cuffs. The story broke wide open. Eastwood was a mess. Students pissed, faculty scrambling. Professor Smith woke up eventually, thanked me through a raspy voice, said I did him proud. Felt good, but I couldn't shake the edge I'd been living on. It's been a month since then. Things are calmer, but not settled. Last night, my phone buzzed again. Unknown number. "Well done, Alex, but there are bigger fish." I stared at it, a knot forming in my gut. I'd won this round, but it didn't feel over. I keep thinking about Mark, wondering if he'd be proud or scared for me. Jamie says I'm paranoid, but he doesn't get it. Truth's a fight that never ends. You just pick your battles. And me? I'm ready for the next one. That's my story. I didn't ask for it, but it found me. And I'm not backing down.